what I really think as an educationist, that the one skill that is most important in the 21st century will be the skill of learning new skills, and everything else will become obsolete over time. And I think that's the key thing that I believe, and having completed nearly 2 decades of the 21st century, I think as an educationist, the big question for us is, what are we seeing in the 2030s? What are the career options for the students that we are looking at? Are we really preparing our students for the careers that we don't even know are coming up? Look at the different new careers and the very fact that the rapidly changing world, which is predominantly driven by science and technology. And if you look at science and technology, both are also moving in such a fast speed. Looking at the present and future trends, the OECD predicts that we will need people who will be able to think creatively, develop new products, new jobs, new processes, new methods, new way of thinking, new way of living, new enterprise, new sectors, and the new business models. And of course, the new social models, considering the present day curriculum that we see in the country. I think there are many difficult questions that we need to ask ourselves as educators, policymakers, parents, students, that is the present teaching, learning, curriculum, processes, and assessments able to prepare the future ready next generation, industry ready next generation? Is the school and industry clearly trying to have a marriage between each other to be able to develop those skills that are required in the future, like I said, for the jobs that we don't know? So we need to look at skills of adaptability, resilience, transferability. This calls for changing the concept of curriculum from predetermined and static to adaptable and dynamic. I think I'm very, very fortunate that we run the IB curriculum apart from the Indian curriculum schools. We run 100 schools in the country, but we also run the IB school curriculum, which has already incorporated student agency. Student agency is nothing but it gives the freedom of choice, voice, and ownership to students. So when you talk about choice, voice, and ownership to students to pursue their goals, to attain their full potential. So it's so important that you give student agency. But I add to the IB curriculum, and I said we also need to give teacher agency. Teachers need to be empowered to use their professional knowledge, skills, and expertise to deliver the curriculum effectively. And this will be only possible until we start looking at empowering the teaching community. PD, professional development, as some speakers spoke in the beginning, is the key area. The proficiency of teaching, learning, and teachers is something that we really want to see how we can develop in the country. Of course, IB talks about ATL skills, that is approaches to teaching and learning, where you develop research skills, most important self-management skills, communication skills, social skills, and that makes the students responsible. And I also talk about international mindedness. That's something so very, very important. In our Indian philosophy, we talked about Vasudhaiva Kutumba. We say the world is one family. And thus, all our actions, wherever we are in this part of the world or any part of the world, I think our actions, and IB talks about everything that you do in the curriculum. What action do you take? If I'm talking and teaching about water, am I only teaching water H2O and this is the water is used for this? But what are you doing to save water? Where is your responsibility around the world where water is concerned. So action is the key. And we don't even ever talk about the real world examples and look at how you can integrate the curriculum with what the future aspects are. You look at the 17 UN goals. If you just embed those 17 UN goals into the curriculum, you will be able to make a difference to society. And I always look at how you can integrate those UN goals to be able to make a difference to society. And that's exactly what action is. So we need to create value to education and jobs. We need to look at careers. And I think that we talk about the future careers are artificial intelligence, machine learning, and high-speed biomedicines to fight the pandemic. And I think it's also important at the same time, the man and the machine. You can't forget the psychology aspects, the medication, the yoga, which is in the forefront. We need to have, again, another marriage between man and machine and see how the education system balances the two, because it's very, very important. We may talk about this huge drive of technology and science, but we need to somewhere see how we have that intervention, how we have that correlation of man and machine, both we cannot forget. So I always think, and at our school, I'm proud to say, we have many students pursuing their higher education in Canada. And I must say, when they come back to the school and meet me, they write to me, dear Dr. Lulla, without sitting in the class, I've been promoted to the next class, and say, wow. They say, because we're doing so well, we get those kind of opportunities to jump up a semester, and they also get a lot of scholarships. Many of my students, we have nearly 300 students who do their IBDP and A levels. And of course, in other Indian schools, we have more than if I take the 100 schools that we have around 1 lakh students. They pursue and they aspire to go to these countries around the world because they dream of making a difference to society. They dream of getting to a better curriculum, getting to a organization where they can actually fulfill their aspirations. So I must say that it is really important for us to look at not only the curriculum, the teaching, learning, but also the assessments. I think that's the key aspect that we do not look at. Are we really touching on the cognitive, psychomotor, and the affective, which is the main domains of humans? I think to achieve the overall purpose of education, which I say, and I want to end with Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, who always talked about education is nothing but mind, body, and soul. So I strongly believe as an educationist that that's the area that we need to connect with. And I'm sure in the days with the support of this organization, we would get there. So thank you so much. And that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.